while we're waiting for questions, I do also want to just talk a little bit about timing. So as I said, this program was permanent in the law. It was never suspended, but the regional center program has now been extended. That doesn't, however, mean that people are filing right now for new petitions, because the way the rules changed is that all regional centers were decertified by the USCIS, and they have to now apply again to be recertified. Immigration has indicated they want to adjudicate these applications within 180 days, but they're not obligated to. So we don't know at this point, since people just started filing in the last 2 weeks, how long it will take for them to get redesignated. Under their interpretation of the law, once the regional center is redesignated, they will then need to file an application for a project pre-approval, and that needs to be filed, not yet approved, before investors can begin filing their 526s. So we still don't know when applicants who want to go into a regional center can file new applications, is what I'm trying to say. And so those investments are certainly gearing up and will be in the market once they are approved, but it could take 6 months or longer. It could be faster. We just don't have any clarity right now. And the directs in the interim are available and can, for people who are interested, move forward with those investments. We do have some questions. Do you support other visa options that do not require investment? Yes, we do. We're a full service immigration practice, and we do the whole alphabet soup of work visas and green card options. We also work on family reunification cases and sponsorships that way. So absolutely. And we do also represent businesses in the transfer of their personnel. Can I be in the US to operate and start the business while my application is in process? Good question. So to do that, you would either need to have an underlying work visa status, like an E-2 that we've been discussing, or something else, or you have to file the EB-5 petition in the US with the adjustment of status, and then wait for your work authorization to be issued. You cannot work without either a work visa or an employment authorization document, which we call an EAD in immigration talk in the United States. To follow up on my previous question, does the amount invested that would be taken into consideration by US immigration include the initial investment under the E-2, or only the investment into the new store? That is a very specific question, and the general answer is it could be, depending on how it was structured to begin with. So that would definitely be something that we should discuss, because it's going to be personal to your situation. I have somebody now who we are filing an E-2 for, and the money that he has in the business didn't actually come for him. He has revenues while he's been overseas that have been paid into the US business. So because he didn't invest for purposes of the E-2, we have to make him take a distribution and reinvest into the business to qualify for an E-2. That's an unusual situation, but it's to give you sort of an example of retained earnings don't work, and it's going to be the same situation for the EB-5. But if I had an E-2 business and I invested $1 million into it, and now I also want to file an EB-5, the answer is probably yes. We just want to probably speak one-on-one to ensure that the entity that received the investment is going to be the same entity that is creating the jobs. Sometimes we have different tiers of entities, and we have to always take that into account. And it doesn't mean it's not possible, but it does depend on organizational structure and ownership. Okay, I am under an E-2 with a bunch of contractors. Would it be possible to apply the payment to all those contractors towards the EB-5 investment? Money invested into the business could possibly create jobs, but keep in mind, for the EB-5, it's sort of twofold. You invest money into the business, and then we have to show that 10 jobs are created. Those jobs are W-2 full-time jobs, right? So they're not contractors. But it doesn't mean that the business could not, in parallel, have hired 10 US workers and at the same time contractors. So, it's possible. But again, I think we'd probably need a one-on-one consult, but you cannot get around that 10 full-time job requirement for USCIS. So it would be meeting that requirement and possibly also showing the investment to support the contractors. Well, I think that is all for today.
Hey, what's the best way for these folks that have questions to get started with the process and better understand, like, if the EB-5 visa is the best path? Like, do they reach out to you via your website, or what's the best way to have a consultation with you?
The best way to get in touch with me is to send me an email to schedule a consultation. I will discuss one-on-one with you the requirements, your personal questions, and your scenario. The consultations are complimentary, always at GT. And the best way to do that is by email. And then, Patrick, you're going to include a link to that amazing website that you showed us.
Definitely. Yeah, we'll include a link for Visa Franchise as well as Vetted Biz, which is a free resource. And there is further information for paying members, but it's a good place to start the search.
Excellent. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. Take care.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.